Welcome back to the Ghetto CEO podcast, where we have a special segment called the Ghetto CEO News, where we blend marketing but also current news so we can help you guys continue to grow your businesses. I'm Monrae, the host here, but all I need you to do right now is like, comment, and subscribe before we get started. All right, y'all ready? So listen, Beyoncé didn't just give us Cowboy Carter. She gave us a masterclass in modern day marketing. So what I want you guys to think about is go to your minds when you seen that Cowboy Carter was first coming out. No press run, no explanations, no TikTok dances, and yet an entire culture shifted. We are now we're boots on the ground, okay? Because Cowboy Carter is out. And so today on Ghetto CEO, we're breaking down how she pulled it off while most brands cannot, and what you need to steal from her playbook. Even if your following isn't in the millions, because this was more than music. This was a funnel wearing cowboy boots, okay? So breaking news, y'all. Let's break down exactly what happened in news that day, right? First, Beyonce went quiet. Completely silent. Renaissance came out and she just came and went. We went to the concert. We had our silver on. We was all cute. We was doing the house party dance, all of that. Then she went silent. And then she absolutely did nothing. But that was her silent setup. Then the teaser dropped. That was the Verizon, if y'all remember, before the Super Bowl came, the Verizon Super Bowl ad. It just wasn't a flex. It was a soft launch. No track list, no visuals, just speculations. Then boom, Act 2 drops titled Cowboy Carter, and then the internet went into a frenzy. After that, she actually followed with a track list, releasing to be, kind of build momentum. We in album mode. You see what's going on, right? She also included like cultural icons like Dolly Parton to co-sign her work, but she also did no interviews, no over-explaining, and she completely controlled the narrative. And one thing that I love about this is because she went into a completely new genre, and a lot of people like question Beyonce for going into the country era, but she a Texas girly. Okay, so this was something that was really true to her like roots or whatever. And she eventually, her mom came out and explained it later. But then she hit us with some merch, a site overhaul, and a full-blown, like, everything, right? We didn't just get an album. We got an experience. That's the news, and that's the strategy. Are you tired of having failed launches? Well, listen, I got something way better for you. That's us here at Red Necessity Digital Agency, my agency where we actually produce marketing campaigns that help you actually convert. Now, listen, we are just not trying to create a moment. We're creating movements. And if you want us to help you create ROI-generating campaigns, then make sure you go to rednecessity.com. Now back to the episode. So what is really going on, this is how the funnel happened, okay? Beyonce created silence, so when she spoke, the whole world listened. She let curiosity do the pre-marketing and use limited visuals to push controlled virality. So one thing that I always say, and we'll talk about with this, is like Beyonce has a certain level way that she drops things. And sometimes I be telling y'all can't be Beyonce, okay? Because you need a little bit of hype, but because Beyonce has hyped for 20 plus years, she could do things like this. So her launch funnel that was disguised as an album drop was one, the top of funnel was her hype from her silence and curiosity, because people are like trying to figure out what Beyonce got going on. Ain't nobody trying to figure out what you got going on, girl, yet. Okay? So you got to make sure you actually have that hype to like go silent and drop something. But the middle of the funnel was the track list, the social buzz, and the storytelling. And the bottom of the funnel was the merch, music sales, streaming, physical product ties in, and all of that. And she never had to ask for engagement because the strategy made people engage, okay? That's the difference between a post and a plan, between noise and being in album mode, as you can see, okay? So, like I said, this isn't just marketing, this is a movement, but let's like zoom out so we can kind of see the entire funnel. This wasn't just a funnel. This was a genre takeover, y'all. Beyonce didn't just drop an album. She walked into country music, a space that's like traditionally white, no tea, no shade, traditionally like gay kept, and traditionally like not for us, the girls, right? But she didn't ask for permission. She disrupted the market. She flipped the sound, and she showed what ownership sounds like low key. Okay, let's be real. Some of us miss the Beyonce who was loved and hurt and was being cheated on and mad at Jay-Z because I love a little resentment and a Beyonce album, and we love some Partition and some Dangerously in Love, okay? But what we're watching now is her taking control of who she is in a legacy. Like, Beyonce on a legacy run right now. Like, she don't care about us. Okay, and like what we truly want, it's about like, let me check off all the things on my bucket list. Okay, she's building legacy, she's shifting narratives, and she's not waiting on approval. She's collecting data, building brand equity, and evolving out loud. And what makes that powerful, she's not doing it for the algorithm, she's truly doing it for impact. So I want you to ask yourself, what are you doing to impact your audience? What are you doing? Are you on a legacy run, or are you on like a get money run, right? And you could do either or, but it depends on what season you're in. And sometimes when you're on that legacy run, it doesn't matter about what people want from you. It's about what you want to leave on this world, right? But let's go a little bit deeper. Beyonce didn't just launch Cowboy Carter. She launched an entire uniform. Like, I have never seen, and maybe tell me if I'm wrong, but I have never seen country and hip hop blend the way it has, the way it is right now. Like, come on, y'all. We on TikTok talking about boots on the ground. You know what I mean? Like, everybody has the Daisy Duke shorts on and the cowboy boots. We got line dance classes. Like, it is a trend, but I truly believe that she's fused country music into our hip hop culture. And she didn't just build a brand, she built a visual movement. She trained her audience to participate in the experience, not just consume the content. And that's culture, y'all. That is intentional branding. And that's a funnel that you cannot duplicate unless you're leading something bigger than a product. I know you are enjoying this episode of the Ghetto CEO podcast, but listen, I need you to do me a favor, okay? I need you to subscribe, like, and comment below, because I only know that you're watching this if I see those views and all those things go up, okay? Now back to the episode. You're asking, like, how would I launch like this? Like, what does this mean for me? And so let me ask you something. If you had to launch like this, what would be your teaser moment? What would be your visual aesthetic? What would be your mic drop moment? What would make people dress up and show up for your offer? That's just not hype. That's you being in album mode. You truly being like inside of, immersed into the experience that you're giving people. That's creative direction. That's cultural control. That's campaign alignment. That is not a moment. That is a movement. And let's keep it real, y'all. Most of y'all can't disappear and come back to applause. Like, if I disappeared today, y'all will forget about me tomorrow. Right? But Beyonce can go silence because her audience is loyal and her funnel is automated and her brand equity is deep from decades of work. Decades. We're evaluating her today, but she's been doing this for years. But let's talk about you and your mama. You go ghost and then you lose momentum. Most brands don't have pre-built trust, don't have a nurture funnel, and don't have an audience that's well-conditioned and waits for the drop. So what can you do is the question that you're probably asking yourself right now. Like, how do I take what Beyonce's doing and apply it to my business? You can build structure. You can build systems. You can stop trying to surprise drop people and give surprise drops on stuff that nobody asked for. I said what I said. Nobody asked for that. Nobody asked for them bracelets. Nobody asked for, you don't have an audience. You don't even know how the audience is. You need to start really building anticipation and creating anticipation on purpose. Album mode is not about silence. It's about discipline. You don't need Beyonce's budget. You need her blueprints. Okay? Her team knew the story, the sequence, and the structure before the beat even dropped, okay? You're not dropping the album, but you're launching something with purpose, with impact. So let's make sure that you're doing it with intention and not with impulse, okay? I hope that you guys were able to pick up something from this and be able to truly get your blueprint to be able to launch successfully so you can launch like Beyonce. But before we go, we're going to hit the inbox. We're going to take the best questions, because if you got any questions, y'all, when I do the Ghetto CEO News, all you got to do is inbox Ghetto CEO on Instagram, and I'll answer your questions live on the Ghetto CEO News. But this was the question I got. Hey, Monrae, how do you launch in silence when I am still trying to build my audience? I would say if you are still trying to build your audience and launch in silence, you don't launch in silence. Like, you launch in layers. You drop breadcrumbs. You build buzz, but you keep the product under wraps until you know what it is. But you need to build the audience for the industry that you're trying to build for. Question number 2, do I need merch or extras if I just have a digital product? Even if you have a digital product, you may not need merch, physical products, but you do need a launch. Like, even though if it's digital, service-based, infopreneur, whatever industry you're in, you do need a launch. You do need hype. You do need excitement around the thing that you're launching. And last question, what's the first funnel move I should make if I want to launch like this? The first thing you need to do is have some type of lead magnet, some type of something to attract people to you that's in your audience. And you want to make sure that you have a email nurture series or like a SMS nurture series, something to continue to nurture people with this audience that you're building. But you want to make sure that you truly have that back end ready before you're like putting it out there so that you could be able to convert the people at a high level. All right, y'all. So you don't need to be Beyonce to move like a mogul, but you do need strategy, y'all. If this episode makes you think your launch style, then you're ready to go into album mode. Don't let content get ahead of the plan. Head to marketingbymonrae.com. If you're really serious, book the audit, get you a planner, do something. Rate, review, and repost this podcast. And I will see you guys on the next episode of the Ghetto CEO News. Invoice in, that ain't ghetto. Money spin, oh, that's ghetto.